Ms. Kors, you're the plaintiff in this matter. What are the issues that are unresolved?
As far as the divorce itself,
Yes, that's what we're here about.
I think it's mostly financial is my concern.
What about custody of the child? Has that been resolved between you?
Yes, it's been resolved between us and also the front of the court.
And what about property and debt? Has that been split?
Yes.
So from your point of view, have the two of you agreed on parenting time?
Yes, we have.
Excuse me, Mr. Kors, you've heard what your wife has indicated to me. Do you agree with those statements?
Yes, sir.
Are you living separate right now?
I'm sorry?
Are you living apart right now?
Yes, sir.
All right. So have you divided your property yet?
Yes.
Do you own any real estate, either one of you?
I
No,
do
sir.
not own any, no.
Okay. All right, we can't enter a judgment of divorce until after 6 months has expired from the time this was filed, which was back in December. So after June 28th, the judgment can enter. If the two of you have resolved this, all the issues in this divorce, you need to prepare a judgment that reflects your agreement. And after June 28th, you can file a motion for entry of that judgment. And it'll be a consent judgment at that point. If the two of you are agreeing to it, you both should sign it before you submit it to the court. I'm going to schedule this for a trial sometime after that date in case you haven't resolved it or things fall apart for you from your point of view. So we can have a trial. So you'll get notice of when that's going to be, but anytime before that, after June 28th, you can enter a judgment if you have an agreement. But it's up to you to do this. You have to get a judgment put together that reflects your agreement and have it signed by the two of you, submit it to the county clerk along with a motion for entry of that judgment, if that's what you want to do.
Okay.
If you don't do that, we'll have a trial on the date I send you the notice. Okay?
Okay.
Okay, so
All right.
let me recap just so I'm understanding correctly, please. I need to prepare a judgment, both signing it and then agreeing on everything that we've agreed on, and send it to you or your office.
You'll have to have it reviewed by, excuse me, your judgment has to be reviewed by the friend of court because there's a child involved. So you need to take it to the friend of court, have them look it over and review it, and then it can be filed with the county clerk. You don't send it to my office. You file it with the county clerk.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
And,
Yes.
and you schedule it, a motion for entry of that judgment.
I'm note taking. I'm sorry.
I see that. That's fine.
I do
All right,
have a
all set.
question though.
Go ahead.
As far as in the proposed divorce stuff, I did ask for alimony. Is that something we have to come up on agreement upon, or is it something that
You have to agree on it, or we have to try the issue, one or the other.
okay, meaning the amount? Do we have to come up with a specific amount? Do we have to?
If you don't have an agreement on all the issues in your judgment of divorce, in your divorce, then
Okay.
we have to have a trial. We'll have a trial, and I'll decide.
Okay.
So you need to discuss that and see if you can come to an agreement with it.
Okay.
So you're all set.
All right.
Okay, I have the next two.
All right, this is a matter of Woolman versus Woolman. This is a pretrial conference. Are you Matthew Woolman?
He's still connecting.
Are you Matthew Woolman? Is it connected yet?
He should be.
Are you Matthew Woolman?
Yes.
All right, are you Emily Woolman?
Yes, I am.
All right. Mr. Woolman, you are the plaintiff in this divorce matter, so tell me what the issues are that are unresolved at this time.
The marriage just broke down.
Well, it's not what I'm talking about. I assume that, or you wouldn't have filed a complaint for divorce. But
Yeah.
what are when you go through a divorce, you have to divide property, you have to divide debt, there are various things involved in doing this, and I'm asking you, what are the issues that are unresolved?
I don't really think we have any. We conversed and we came up with a settlement with each other. She has properties that are hers, but because of the border being closed, she is unable to get them at this time. But they will be here when the border opens up.
I assume from that statement that one of you is Canadian or something?
Yeah, she's Canadian
I am.
and American.
You are?
Yes,
Are you in
I'm
Canada now?
Yes, I am.
So what properties are in Canada that are a problem?
It's not in Canada. I just have belongings at his house that I can't get because of the border shutdown.
Okay, so you're talking about personal property, things that you have.
Yes.
Well, that creates a bit of a problem, doesn't it? Mr. Woolman, is there any issue? Can you identify, do you agree that you can identify what those things are?
Yeah, there's a cabinet, like a hutch, and she has.
I don't need to know. I don't need to know what they are. I just wondered, can the two of you agree as to what you're talking about? Make a list.
Yes, we've discussed it prior.
All right. So do you have any issue with hanging on to those until she can get across the border?
No, everything's kind of put together, and yeah, it's just been crazy with the border being like this.
Yeah. All right. Well, this is a divorce without children, correct?
Correct.
Yes.
And Ms. Woolman, you're not pregnant now, right?
No.
Okay. So the time period for entry of a judgment is already passed. You can do it any time. What you need to do is prepare a judgment of divorce that reflects the agreement that the two of you have. You both should sign it. And then you, Mr. Woolman, if you both sign it, Ms. Woolman doesn't have to appear on for entry of the judgment, or just the plaintiff has to, as long as I have both of your signatures. She's free to do so if she wants. And we can do that on Zoom without a problem, as long as it's a consent judgment. But you need to get it done. The two of you need to sign it, submit it to the county clerk's office, along with a motion for entry of that judgment.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay.
I got.
You can, on that, I'm going to recommend to you that you prepare a list of the personal property that each of you get, so that there's no dispute about it when the border opens and Ms. Woolman comes to get it. Okay?
Yep.
In the meantime, I'm going to schedule this for a trial, just in case you don't follow through with what I'm telling you to do, because I want this to get scheduled. And Ms. Woolman, I think if I actually have a trial on this, I think the boarder will let you come across for that purpose.
Oh, okay.
But you- But it's only if there's a trial. If there's not a trial, if you have a resolution, we'll just do it the same way we're doing it right now.
Okay.
All right. We'll probably schedule this sometime out a ways because right now I can't have any trials either because of COVID. And until I'm able to start doing that, I'm scheduling things out a little way so that I can, hopefully we change over so I can do that again. But in the meantime, try to get this put together and get a schedule for entry of a judgment. All right?
Yeah, I have that paper to send out, as to say, like with the border, like we've been sending it over the mail, and it's been taking like 2 to 3 weeks for anything to get back and forth.
Well, try doing it through attaching it on an email or something.
Oh, okay.
You can do it that way just as easily as you can through the mail. And as
Okay.
long as I have Mrs. Woolman's signature on it and your signature on it, we're all right with that.
Okay, thank you.
So just follow through with that process, and then I'll simply ask if you're doing it that way at the time of the entry of the judgment. I'll just ask Ms. Woolman if she actually signed it, if it's her signature on there, if it's a facsimile of the signature. So that's the way we'll proceed. You'll get notice of the trial date, but in the meantime, try to put this together so it gets entered. Okay, all set.
Thank you very much. Have a good day.
Thank you.
All right, I have Frank and I have the defendant, so I'm not sure, maybe the plaintiff's with him. Not quite, I mean, I know it's a pretrial, but.
That's all.
And turn my audio on. Can you hear me?
Hold on a minute, Mr. Smask. All right, this is Wetter versus Wetter. It's a pretrial conference. Mr. Smasko, you want to put your appearance on the record?
Sure. For the record, Judge Frank Samasko appearing on behalf of Brian Philip Wetter, who sits here to my left.
And are you Brianna Wetter?
Unmuted. Her audio's not good. Yeah, you got to unmute it.
Now she's got good audio, she can talk.
Are you Brianna Wetter?
Yes, hi.
All right. Mr. Samasko, what are the issues that are unresolved in this case?
Well, Judge, honestly, it's about a 3-year marriage, maybe 3.5. There are no kids involved. It basically boils down to property settlement. I guess the sticking point is the value of the home at this point. Other than that, I think we're pretty much on track. Maybe Brianna would agree with that or disagree with that, but I think that's where we're at.
Ms. Wetter, what's your position?
Yeah, I agree with what Frank says, Your Honor. I think we're pretty much on track. It's just valuing the house and how we're going to go ahead and deciding that equity that's remaining in the house.
Right. And for what it's worth, Judge, I've ordered and have a real estate market analysis that has a value on it. I believe Mrs. Wetter plans to hire Michelle Easter, if I'm not mistaken. And maybe with a little guidance from Michelle, we can get this thing taken care of.
All right, so the only issues that remain are property, correct?
Correct.
Ms. Wetter, is that correct?
Correct.
All right, I'm gonna schedule this for trial. You're getting a notice of when that trial date will be, and obviously if you resolve it sooner than that, you can file a motion for entry of the judgment. Any resolution we'll do on Zoom, any trial will have to be in person, so it'll be after we're able to start doing those again. So just so you know, you will get a trial date. And if you're gonna hire an attorney, Ms. Wetter, you should make sure you do that well in advance of any trial.
Yes, sir, Your Honor. I have a consultation with Michelle Easter on the 17th, and then we'll decide how to proceed with that, and we'll let Frank and Brian know as soon as we do that.
All right, we're all set then.
Thank you, Judge. Have a good day.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Have a good day, Brandon.
You're welcome.
You guys too.